Hi everyone, it's Wanda with the Armchair Cat Advocate, and I have some pretty exciting news. I am involved with this organization called, or I've gotten involved with this organization called HASS, HASS. It's Human Animal Support Services. And basically, what they do is what we're trying to do here on the channel, which is combine animal welfare and human services and make that connection between the two, show that intersection between the two. I've talked about integrated case management. That's pretty much what they do as an organization is they look to see how can we support both animals and people. How can we support, what can we do to help support the people so that they can further support the animals. It's a really cool organization. They have, actually, I don't remember, somewhere down the line, somebody suggested them to me and said, they have all these great webinars and they're really nice, and they really are. They're really cool. They had one about animal welfare workers and the high rate of self-exiting that they have. So they talked about that and animal welfare people and mental health. They've talked about the problem with like humane societies and SPCAs and other rescues, and why people are not adopting like they should be adopting, why breeders are like the main competitors now for these rescues, because it's easy to just go and buy a dog or a cat, where so many of these animal welfare organizations really put people through the ringer and basically require them to sign over their firstborn in order to adopt a pet. So they do stuff like that, and they really have a lot of information and resources. And for someone like myself, it's like, oh my god, this is so cool, because I love this research and looking at the scholarly papers and things like that. So anyway, they had a gentleman on, no, I think it was last month, and his name is Mike Wheeler, and I'm going to actually read to you the description, his bio. He is in Arkansas, and we know who lives in Arkansas, right? Dawn. He's in Arkansas. It's Cabot Animal Support Services. His name is Mike Wheeler. And I'm going to read this to you. It says, Mike Wheeler is the Director of Community Services for Cabot, Arkansas. Since 2009, he has been dedicated to animal welfare and public safety while reducing euthanasia and promoting responsible pet ownership in Cabot, Arkansas. Under Mike's management, the city-operated open admissions shelter took in 3,357 animals in 2019, while euthanizing only 23, with over 99% of every animal organization touched in while euthanizing only 23 with over 99% of every animal the organization touched in 2019 leaving alive. That's pretty impressive, because when you're talking open admission shelter, an open admission shelter is a quote unquote unalive shelter. And this is what Best Friends is not wanting. Best Friends wants the limited admission, which is the no-kill shelters. But they're proving that you can have an open admission shelter and still have a very high save rate. So he says in 2020, his desire to help people and animals has brought about 23 community programs that focused on improving the lives of every person and every pet in his community by strengthening the human-animal bond and keeping families together. This philosophy of returning/keeping animals with their families has reduced his annual intake to 1,035 animals in 2021. His passion for animal welfare and public policy has driven him to a position on the Executive Management Committee for the Human Animal Support Services, HAS, the board of the National Animal Care and Control Association, NACA, and the position of president of the Arkansas State Animal Control Association, ASACA. In this capacity, he trains animal control officers and assists animal service departments and individuals across the country to become better representatives within their communities while providing a higher standard for animal welfare and public safety in those communities. Mike's philosophy is one that is based on continuous learning in an ever-changing world, as well as learning daily from human and animal welfare leaders across this country. Mike has completed his bachelor's degree in criminal justice and business administration with a master's degree in public administration. So, here's the deal, and here's where it gets really exciting. So, I sat in on that webinar last month, and afterwards they sent everybody out an email and said, hey, Mike would like to do like a Q&A with just the people that attended that webinar. Like, I guess and I think then they expanded it to if you watched it, if you watched on replay, if you couldn't see it live, you watched it on replay. So because I was there and watching it, I got an invite to this Q&A. It's like, this is so cool because, sometimes the planets align just right and things happen. So I had trouble getting on. It was a Zoom call. So I'm trying to get on it. It was letting me in. I was like, I think 10 minutes late because the freaking thing wouldn't let me in. I get on. There's only 10 people on the call. Like in the chat, there's only 10 people watching because people couldn't get on. That's unfortunate because I don't know how many people wanted to attend, but it was nice because it was a nice, intimate kind of little conversation, and he was there for an hour, so everybody had a chance to say things, and they were saying, this is Q&A, people have any questions, and of course nobody was saying anything, which I see this kind of across the board. People are always hesitant to raise their hand and start. I'm not, because I'm a big mouth, so I put in the chat, I'm like, I have a friend in Arkansas, and she's going through all this, and she has animal control people, and blah, 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 blah. So, and then I ended it with, I was wondering if maybe you would talk to her, and maybe you could help guide her and give her some advice or some support, because this is what she's trying to do, and la, 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 la. So, the director of Haas, she's like, oh, there's a question in the chat. So he's saying, Dawn, this is funny. He's saying, Dawn, do you want to just talk? And I'm like, I'm just sitting there. And then it dawns on me, no pun intended. It dawns on me that my full name is Wanda Dawn Miller. Some people call me Dawn, some people call me Wanda, and I didn't think about this, but I usually go in under the Armchair Cat Advocate email, and this time, because I was having trouble getting on, it wouldn't let me log in, so it was like, go through a Google account, so I'm just like hitting the first account, because, like most people have a couple accounts. So instead of hitting the Armchair Cat Advocate, I hit the W.D. Miller account that I have, and I have that as Dawn Miller. So I'm like, oh wait, that's me. So I explained the whole thing to him, and I said, look, we have this channel, it's called the Armchair Cat Advocate, and this is what we're trying to do, and we want to, we want to show the relationship between animal welfare and human services and how the two intersect, and that we also put a lot of emphasis on the community cats and the difficulties of taking care of them. And both Dawn and myself, we both are doing this, but she's in Arkansas and it's really tough where she's at. And he's like, I have no problem. You let her know. Here's my information. He gave everybody his contact information. He said, you have her email me, call me, whatever. He said, Arkansas is small. He said, no matter where you're at, it's only about 3 hours from whatever direction. He said, I don't have a problem going over and actually talking to her. This guy, this director of community services, this, big shot, for lack of better words, is willing to drive to visit our Dawn and help her figure out how to get the community more engaged. He's done a lot of work with governments. He's done a lot of work with city councils. And I'm like, hey, by the way, I know someone that sits on city council. I knew her before she became elected. So I know someone that sits on city council. Is there any way that I could talk to you as well? And, pick your brain about this, because, she's on city council and she doesn't know how to get them engaged, because they're saying crazy things like, we just don't feed them, or, we put them on a shelter. And he's talking about, like, where he's at, they have some kind of an ordinance. He said, we just call them, he said, they're community cats. He said, it doesn't matter. He said, and he said, the way they do it is they engage. He said, we treat them. This is really interesting, the way he spun this. They treat them as wildlife, like they're considered wildlife here too. He said, but what they do is they engage people to care for them like people would care for songbirds or squirrels, or, people will feed the squirrels in the park or the possums, but they try to get them engaged with the cats. So this is this is great. I mean, this is a really great opportunity, an amazing opportunity to actually talk to this person. And then on top of that, I don't know, she's with HASS, but I'm not sure what her title is. She's like, I guess she's like the keeper of the library. And she has access to all these scholarly papers and studies and everything. And I briefly went over, I said, look, I just recently had an incident where I had a guy sick as pit bull on the colony. And when I called the police, they just kind of like, they didn't care. I said, and I was trying to explain to them, you don't understand, this is a social justice issue. And, Mike said, well, he said, the thing is, you got to get them to not look at you like the crazy cat lady. That's the first thing. And then the director of HASS, she said, it is a social justice. She said, you're absolutely right. She said, there have been studies done that show that it is a social justice issue. And I'm like, bam, 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 York City police, bam, York City Council. I'm right. And there's documentation, there's evidence, there's empirical evidence, there's research that backs up my little theory that this is a social justice issue. That is so cool. And I can't wait to get my hands on some of this literature. So then above and beyond that, I also took part, I completely forgot about this, but back in my contact from Feline Solutions. She had sent me a text. I think it was back like in May or something. And there was this study in Michigan, I believe. They're doing a whole study on community cats. Like it's like across the country. They're doing this huge study on community cat and colony cat care. And they she was encouraging the colony managers, because she did her own local study. So she was encouraging all the colony managers that she had talked to, including myself, to take part in the study, which I did. And they did it, and they were going to do it in two parts. Like they did the first part, and then 6 months later they were going to send an email out to complete it. And I don't know if maybe they had to, I don't know if they just picked certain people to complete the second part. I'm not sure. But I got an email today. I'm like, who's this? It was an Indian name. And I'm like, I don't know this. Is this spam? Like, but it didn't look like spam. So I opened it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what this is. This is a graduate student. She's a graduate student, and I'm guessing her ethnicity is Indian. But she was sending out the second part of the study. So I completed it. And also they said, if you have any other questions or anything, feel free to contact them. So I have her contact information. So I also passed that along to Dawn. I know she's really busy right now, but I think, that would be a good option for her, to maybe contact them. I mean, I know that she can't be part of the study at this point, but even just talking to them anecdotally might, help. I don't know. I mean, it never hurts to reach out, never hurts to network. So that's the exciting news. But I'm definitely going to reach out to, I think I'm going to reach out to Elsbeth first. And I'm thinking, wonder if maybe we could just have if he would be open to having a Zoom meeting, because Elsbeth had talked about having a meeting between her and myself and some of the key like rescue people in the area, and other like key leadership, and having like a whole thing. So, I mean, which is what, you need to do if you want to change policy. You just can't sit around and say, hey, whenever you want me to, help, I'm here. You can't do that, because they're not, like Mike said, yes, what people always say is, I pay taxes, I pay your job, you work for me. But the fact of the matter is the way it really works is they want you to be bringing something to the table. And if you're not bringing something to the table, sooner or later, they're going to get tired of playing with you, and they're just going to go away now. I'm done. And anybody who thinks that they're going to just be able to sit on their couch and wait for them to write policy that benefits you, they're going to get a rude awakening, because they're going to get a knock at the door and go, hey, you know what? We're done playing now. Bye. You didn't do anything. You just sat on the couch. You got to put some effort into it. You just can't show up at a meeting when you feel like it and expect, and just say, hey, whenever you feel like, call me. No, they're not going to call you, because they're busy. And that's kind of arrogant to think that they're going to call you. You're the one that's asking for the policy change, not them. They have the policies on the book. They don't care. You don't want to obey the rules, or you don't want to, you don't want to agree with their ordinances or whatever, and you want to go and do your own thing. Okay, well then that's a chance you take. And this is why, you need to know how government functions, how your local government and your state government and even your federal government, you have to know how all that functions. And if you're not sure how it is, then you find somebody that does, that can walk you through it. So I'm excited about this because I think this is the next step, and it's way too late right now to call Elsbeth. Maybe I'll text her. I might text her. I should have called her earlier, but I was busy with other things, meaning cats. So, anyway, I think that's it for now. Exciting news. It looks like we're pushing forward with, I mean, and maybe I'm really hoping that he can help Dawn. I'm really, really hoping because she has so many good ideas. I know this has been weighing heavy on her. I know she's just really struggling with, everything else that's going on in her life. I mean, it's hard enough to deal with your personal stuff, let alone this kind of other things that she deals with. And, I did mention to Mike that, she has to pay that they're charging like $80 that's insane. That's absolutely insane. That's like full price here. Well, actually, yeah, I think it is. I think it's like, yeah, I think it's like $80 I think it's like $80 now to spay, to neuter. I think it's $80 to neuter a male companion cat, like a pet cat. I just don't like to use the word pet, I'm just like at the point where they are not pets anymore. They're my companions. And I think the females are 100, something like that. Which still is reasonable if it's for your companion, but if it's, for a cat that you don't even own. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, see, here's the thing though, Mike, and I want to ask him this. It's like, okay, how do you get the community invested? Because they're not invested here. It's just like certain people are doing this and then nobody else wants to help. And I think that Dawn does have a point when narratives like if you feed, they breed, continue to be perpetuated among, big established rescues like Furball Farm. And I like Furball Farm. I mean, yeah, I have some issues with them too, but I'm going to have issues with anything, and everybody's going to have it. I mean, I don't think anybody looks at anything and across the board like 100%. It's like, this is so perfect. There's nothing that I would change about it. That's not really the way life works. But for the most part, I think they do a decent job. And I don't think they even understand because the thing is, they understand. I mean, I understand, and I think Dawn understands too. What they're saying is they're talking about people who just, they're feeding and they're not even acknowledging that other piece. But there's a lot of people that have barriers, or they just don't know. They don't have the education. They don't understand. And again, what is the alternative? And I'm going to keep coming back to this. What's the alternative? Okay, if you feed, they breed. Okay, well then, what if you don't feed them? They're still going to breed. That's just dumb. They're still going to breed. Trust me on that. They will. Because I didn't feed. I've been here 11 years. I moved in here 2013. I moved in here 2013. I didn't start feeding until 2019, and I was doing it solely to get them used to me feeding them and in a routine because I was being instructed how to do that by the York SPCA and the TNA the TNR people. So I was doing it under guidance, under the proper guidance, with the intent of having them all spayed and neutered, which was only like, I don't know, 4 at that time. Yeah, it was only 4. It was 3 girls and Rogue. But, you know, it's before I started doing that. And that's why I started doing it. Because they were breeding. There were kittens all the time. And there would be kittens unalived by cars and people collecting them for God knows what. And I just, you know, they would tear up the trash. It was smelly because the males that were intact were spraying because of all the because the females, you know, they were coming around for all the females. It was a mess. So yeah, I think that saying needs to die a slow, torturous death, and something better needs to be put in its place. Something that's more factual and people understand better, because they're just perpetuating that myth of, you know, colony manager just feeding. I mean, I even had someone in a comment say, you know, are you spaying and neutering these cats? And then, you know, ... I'm sorry, I just watched the rest of your video. And I thanked the person for watching the video and, you know, apologizing. But not everybody's going to do that. That person was just a nice person. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Mike Wheeler, he's worked with governments. He's pretty high up. And he seems like a really nice, down-to-earth guy for as high up, you know, in his professional field as he is. He seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy and very approachable and personable. So we're going to, you know, I don't know when Dawn will be able to reach out to him, because I know she's got her hands full right now. But I'm definitely going to reach out to him. I'm going to talk to Elsbeth and reach out to him and see, you know, how that goes, because I definitely can use the help. We definitely need something. And like I said, I can't expect Elsbeth to just do this on her own. That's unfair. You know, if you're asking for policy changes, then you need to be part of that. You need part of that conversation, and not just sit on, you know, and again, not just, you know, show up to a meeting here and there when you feel like it and, you know, raise your hand and go, oh, by the way, if you need help, I'm here. That's not going to cut it. So anyway, I think that's all for now. And I have a whole bunch of stuff to post, which is probably good, because I think Dawn's going to be busy for probably the next couple of days at least. So you'll be getting stuff from me. You know, I'll try to make some new stuff. I actually had some stuff from, I don't know, last night. Yeah. Early this morning, because Moosh came in. I think I had some stuff on the colony, and I didn't get everything up because I wanted to put up the 2 big videos. Well, I made that one reaction video to that dumb comment, and then the other one I really wanted to give everybody an overview on Jack and Moosh and what's happening there. And then Dawn texted me and said, I have something to post or something to upload. And then, you know, I told her, just go ahead and do that, because I won't upload, you know, I can upload my stuff after the fact. I don't care if it goes out, gets notification or not. I want her stuff to get, because I know a lot of people are interested in what she has to say, and I think she makes a lot of good points. And I know a lot of people are becoming more and more invested in what's happening with her and her situation. And it's bad. It's a bad situation. Let's just face it. Be real about it. She's gone through a lot. She's gone through an awful lot. I have mad respect for Dawn. I really do. She's gone through a lot in her personal life, you know, growing up, being an adult. She's gone through a lot in that arena. She's gone through a lot now. She's got stuff going on that, you know, I know that other people don't know. You know, the cat thing's tragic. And I know that, you know, with the support, she can make a change. She can make a positive change. I know she can. She just needs that support. And I'm so glad that this community has embraced her and is trying to, you know, help her. I mean, I just saw some comments wanting to help her get money together to help her get these cats spayed and neutered. That's cool. I mean, if people want to do that, look, I'm even willing, if you know, if you want to do it through PayPal, that's fine. But if you want me to start a GoFundMe for her, I can do that too. You just let me know. You know, let me know in the comments if you want me to do that. If you want me to start a GoFundMe, I don't know. I mean, you know, if you give it to her through PayPal, that she's going to get it. She's going to get the money, and she's also going to use it for what it's meant for. And you know she'll have the receipts for you. So that shouldn't be an issue for anyone. And PayPal, you can give any amount. But, I mean, if you want to do the GoFundMe, or maybe do both, because I'm thinking with a GoFundMe can be shared. I don't know how that works exactly. I've never done one. But, you know that whatever money goes into that GoFundMe is going to be used specifically for spaying and neutering. You don't have to worry about it being used for, you know, or being confused by, you know, 3 or 4 different PayPals with conflicting things. So just let me know what you want to do with that, and we can take it from there. But, you know, she's gone through a lot. She's gone through a lot. And she didn't deserve what that other content creator put on her. The labels and what was said. And apparently there's still some things being said. That's what I'm being told. I don't know. I need to find out. But sounds like somebody's got some sour grapes. You know, it is what it is. You know, it is what you make it. That's the fact of the matter. If you're going to be nasty to people, if you're not going to treat them right, I mean, yeah, you're always going to have people that are just still are going to worship at your feet no matter what you do to them. And those are usually people that are traumatized people. Those are people that don't have, you know, they've been beat down most of their lives, and that's just what they're used to, and so that's what they expect. And then you're going to have people that are new to it, that don't know the lore. They don't know all of the misrepresentations that have gone on, for lack of a better word. But they'll find out. They'll find out. So, but, you know, in the meantime, let me know if you want me to, do, you know, start a GoFundMe for Dawn, and I'll be happy to do that. And I want to thank everyone again. I do have, Cat Mama actually donated some food for Jack. Cat Mama, I did a video thanking you. I just didn't get it up yet. And I did one for We Love Cats. I have some appreciation videos coming. I'm just trying to get, I have things I'm juggling too. And, I want to make sure that I don't want Dawn to feel like, I don't want Dawn to feel like she has to contribute right now because she doesn't. And I'm just, asking the community to be patient with us because it's just her and I. I know a little more than she does, but not much. So I'm still trying. I mean, I was like, I finally figured out how to do like a collage and have it like put a series of pictures together and have it move like a movie to make a movie out of it because I've been trying to figure that out for the longest time. And with this new phone I have all these kind of cool little editing things and stuff, so I've been playing with all this and I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I can do it this way. So I'm like trying to figure out, oh, how can I do this and how can I do that? And so yeah, and I have this AI thing and I just I'm now getting I just uh I did a subscription to Google for 2 terabytes of it's you have to pay monthly, but I'm like, okay, I can get an SD card, a 1 terabyte SD card for like $100, a good one, or I can just do this and pay like $10 a month, which kind of works out to the same throughout a year, but I get 2 terabytes. And 2 terabytes is huge. That's huge. So and I can get all this stuff off my phone and I can, as I get the money, as the channel grows and we can start investing the money in things like, the mini microphones and stuff like that, and a decent, I'd like to personally have a GoPro. I think a GoPro would be great for Dawn too. Because, we're out and about with the cats. We're not just usually standing here doing this. So I think that, there's big plans. There's big plans. And we'll just keep working on it. So anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you're as excited about this as I am. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for your understanding while we navigate this next couple of weeks with, Dawn probably going to be out of the picture a lot and you're going to be stuck with me. I'll try to be nice. I really will. I'll try to calm it down and be nice and centered like Dawn. I don't know how long that will last, but I will try. I will try. But I already had an offer from Catitude. Oh dear Lord. I had an offer from Catitude that if Dawn and I need to take a break, her and Mark will take over. And if they need help, they're going to call on Uncle Jack. And I'm like, oh, well, the other content creator did say that we're a trash channel with trash people and we're Jerry Springer. So maybe she's got something there. I just have this image in my head of cat scan. I just can't. That just made me laugh so hard, Catitude. I needed that. I could just see her, Mark with his wrench, because Mark, I did mod Mark. I'm not sure if that was the right choice, but I did mod Mark. And Catitude's supposed to be like keeping an eye on him and keeping him reined in, but I don't know, especially if they're bringing Uncle Jack into the mix, we might have. We're gonna have a completely different channel. I'll say that. So anyway, on that note, I'm gonna go, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, especially if you want to see how this pans out when Mark and Catitude take over. It can be I want to sit in on one of their lives. That's what I want to sit in on. I want to see. I want to sit in on one of their lives. Oh, dear Lord. Um so yeah, so like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, try and make it, nice and kind and respectful and not dumb. um and we'll see you in the next one, or I'll see you in the next one. So goodbye for meow.